up, guys? As you've seen in the title of this already, we're doing some big stuff to the Mini Cooper now. Going supercharged. Not only that, but we're adding nitrous to that too. So is it, I'm adding a supercharger to the nitrous, or I'm adding nitrous to the supercharger? I don't know. It's already got the nitrous kit, so I guess I'm adding a supercharger to that. I don't know. Which one is the main power adder? Which one is the secondary? Who knows? But here we go, guys. Got this right here. Kraftwerks Supercharger kit. We're gonna make this happen. So, I mean, basically, kind of the whole idea behind this is essentially like with the nitrous kit and, the K24, which is what I'm running already, basically it's kind of maxed out. Essentially, if I want to increase the power as it is, I mean, I'm running 150, I've been running 150 shot on it. Technically, I could probably turn it up a little bit, but because it's still on pump gas, I'm limited. So, I mean, no matter which direction I go with it, I would have to spend money. I thought about, just going to E85 and then giving it another, make it, turn up to like a 175 shot or something. And, I'd probably pick up, maybe 30 wheel, maybe 35 wheel, something like that. And, if I ported the intake manifold, all that kind of stuff, whatever. I might make some more, but, my other thoughts were, I could build the bottom end, I could do cams, I could, do all this stuff. And, I could do all of that stuff. And, in the future, there's a possibility I could still do that. It was just, I weighed all my options, and, I was also thought, I could turbo it. I could, like I said, supercharge it, whether it's, a centrifugal or a roots blower. Either way, I could have done any of these things and, got to where I wanted to be. Basically, right now, it's been making, it might be making 360, 370. I really don't know how much power exactly, but based on what I've raced and, general seeing other car builds, whatever, and from own experience, that's probably what it's making. So, my thought was, I got this big hole in the engine bay where basically, I was going to do air conditioning. And, unfortunately, I won't be able to run AC by doing this. So I know some of you guys that were hoping that I was going to, show you how to do air conditioning. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen anymore because I'm choosing power over comfort, I suppose. But that's all right. I never, it is what it is. It's just, I'm more of a go big or go home kind of guy. And, it would have been great to have AC, but supercharger's even better. So basically the plan was this. So with the supercharger that I picked up, it's the C3094, which is a smaller one. My main concern was the engine bay. There's not a lot of room in there. I could have gone with the C38, which is, it flows more. It's physically bigger. And I was just kind of concerned that I don't have enough room. And you'll see, when I start digging into this, that space is limited. And, I think there's going to be a lot of, fabricating and stuff and trying to work things around and trying to make everything fit because it's really close quarters in there. But I think as far as I can tell, I think the C30 is going to fit in there and it's going to work great. So the kit comes with a 120 millimeter pulley, which is the biggest pulley that, that they offer for that. And I'm going to be running the TSX pulley, which the kit is technically, it's meant to run the K20 pulley, which is it's smaller. I can't remember exactly what it is. I want to say like 5.8 inch or something like that. The TSX pulley is 6.125, so it's going to actually create more boost than, with the K20 pulley. So technically it is pulleyed down a little bit. In the future, I am planning on pulling it down even more, but for right now, I just want to get it working. So basically, I'm going to, start fabbing this up, getting it in there, and hopefully the plan is, with the pulley setup that I have right now, estimated, with just supercharger only, I should be similar power to what it's making on nitrous right now. So, it should be, I really don't know. I've seen anywhere from 350 to 390. There was one guy, he had messaged me. He was almost the exact same setup, and he was making like 387 or something like that. So, here's hoping that I make that kind of power with what I have right now, but we'll see. But the plan is, whatever I'm making, I'm planning on spraying on top of it. My fuel pump right now is still the stock fuel pump. Granted, it is rated for 400 horsepower. I don't know if that's 400 crank or 400 wheel. We're going to find out. I've been spraying it this long and it's been holding up, but I got this feeling that as soon as I add nitrous to this supercharger kit, it's probably going to run out of fuel, and then I'll just have to upgrade the fuel pump, which is fine. It's going to happen one way or another because when I pull it down, we're going to be turning it up. But for right now, we're going to see how far we can push it. I'm hoping, you know, maybe with the boost I'm at, run a 50 shot, maybe get it over that 400 horsepower mark. So that's quicker than it was on Nitrous. And yeah, it should be a good time. So I've rambled on long enough. We're going to get to it. We're going to start fabbing this thing up and making it happen. So one of the first things I'm working with is basically I'm trying to figure out like the piping situation. So I'm trying to, obviously I want to come down this way, and then I want to kind of come down here, and then I want to wrap around, basically come underneath this hose here so I can make it into the intercooler, which I'm going to end up re-welding and stuff, which you'll probably see on the intro to this video. This is, I'm taking this video before the parts showed up, so I just kind of waiting on all the parts, and I got a bunch of random pipes and stuff here that I'm gonna try and see if I can make something happen. So I need to relocate the nitrous solenoids, and obviously right before they were kind of right here, which is going to be right in the way of where the intercooler pipe needs to be. So I'm thinking this is going to have to go somewhere up here, but I haven't quite decided where yet. Okay, so I've been messing with the, trying to mock up the intercooler piping. This isn't originally how I wanted to do it, but I think this is actually going to work really well. I got this reducer here. It's from the 3-inch down to the 2.5. And then it's run alongside here. It does clear the transmission, no problem. I was kind of worried about that, but I do have enough room. And then it's basically, you can kind of see here, it's just wrapping around underneath all this stuff. It looks like it's really low, but it's not. It's actually sitting up above the radiator support, and it's coming out right here. So the intercooler, the default, the way the intercooler is that I ordered, it kind of angles at like this. However, it's got like a 2 1/4 inch pipe. So what I think I might do is I'll have it cut off, and then I'll run, have a 2 1/2 inch pipe welded on so that it reaches that just right. Obviously I got a blue hose. I got a color situation going on right here that isn't working. I'll switch that out eventually, but right now that works. So then as far as the all the other stuff, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put the blow-off valve about somewhere in here-ish, and then I kind of been messing around with the hood, trying to see where I can mount the nitrous solenoids, and it turns out I can mount them a lot higher than I originally thought I could. So what I think I'm going to do is have them something like this, and I think I'll just maybe put a couple riv nuts in here, rebend this bracket, so that I can kind of have them sitting at an angle, and then maybe run these lines around, and then have the nitrous nozzle somewhere in here maybe, might work out. And then I can put the intake temp sensor, I'm thinking I might put it down further on this pipe, just a little bit before the blow-off valve. I have enough slack on this wiring too, I'm not even going to have to rewire that. I think it'll reach just fine. So at the moment, I think we're sitting pretty good. Once I get all these other parts, I can kind of keep going with it. All right, so we're gonna go through the box here. The Supercharger's here. We're gonna go through, kind of show you what it comes with. We've got there's like a filter setup. There's this is like the reservoir for the oil. We got some miscellaneous brackets and stuff. We got the Supercharger pulley, some of the fluid for the oil cooler and all that stuff. This is the oil cooler. I already opened this up. It's actually bigger than I expected, so that's going to be interesting trying to fit that in there. Or maybe, wait, no, I take that back. This is the oil cooler. This is the oil cooler. We've got this is the bracket set up. You see some of this stuff. Got like the bracket, a couple other miscellaneous brackets and bolts and all that stuff. Got a whole shitload of stickers. There's so many stickers in here. We got like all this stuff. I was kind of disappointed because like the SI kit, there's like a decal for the intake, and I think maybe comes with the intake manifold. I don't know. I'm gonna try and make one of these stickers work to put on the intake because it looks so cool like that. What is this little guy? I don't know what this little thing is. Oh, there's a little keychain. That's cool. There's like a Kraftwerks keychain. I didn't even know that was in there. The instructions. That's actually going to go in the car. Even though the car is a sleeper, I'm gonna put that on there just to kind of go, there's something going on there. We got the hose for the oil cooler. And then we got the unit. We got the supercharger here. Let's pull this dude out. I haven't actually had it all the way out of the box yet. Yeah, Rotrex. Hell yeah. This is gonna be good stuff, guys. That's all we got in this box. So then I ordered some other things. There's a whole bunch of parts that are coming. Some of them here today, some of them you might see in the rest of this video or maybe in part 2, we'll see. One of the other things I got, I picked up the, I went a little different this time. I've ran a lot of Innovate gauges in the past. I got really, I really have like a fond liking of the MTXL. I've had a couple sensors go out here and there, but for the most part, I've had really good luck with Innovate. I've had shit luck with AEM, and I've tried some other brands, and they just, I've had some of the older Innovate products were junk. I fucking hated them. But their newer stuff is actually pretty good. This one's actually their, it's the PSB1, the Power Safe Boost and O2 gauge kit. So this one actually comes with the gauge is actually, so it's a wideband and so this one is actually a wideband and a boost gauge, and then it also has a shift light built in, which is perfect for my setup because obviously my tack doesn't work in this car. I haven't had a wideband in it. Every time I've been tuning it all motor and with the Nitrous setup, I've been doing it through Haltech, so I always had my laptop set up, and basically I just set it and then just forget about it, which is probably not ideal when I was spraying as much Nitrous as I was, but I would still bring my laptop with me, and I'd check after a few pulls just to make sure everything was copacetic. But now I'll actually have a wideband in front of my face. I can see what I'm doing. Awesome. And a boost gauge. And then the shift light, that's going to be a big help because these Rotrex kits, so basically from what I've read is essentially these things, they don't like it when you hit the rev limiter. It can actually screw them up. So you have to try to keep it off the rev limiter as much as you can, in addition to turning on like soft rev limit. With the, Haltech, I can do that fairly easily. At some point, once again, like I've talked about before, I'm still planning on putting K-Pro in this car. Maybe it'll never happen. Maybe I'll end up buying $2,500 for the K1 Attack. I don't know. At the moment, I have a K-Pro. I'd like to use it. In any case, we'll get to that. So there's a lot of wiring to do here. There's a whole bunch of wires and hoses and all sorts of crap in here. Maybe not hoses. I think it's all electric, actually. We'll see. I haven't really dug through this kit at all. All this shit showed up today. So I got, I also got this, which I haven't opened it up yet, but we got this is the intake temp sensor adapter, so I can actually have my intake temp in the pipe. So that'll all be sealed up and I won't have to worry about any boost leaks. I'm planning on doing a bunch of stuff with like having a lot of the pipes welded so that it's a really nice setup and not just a whole bunch of couplers everywhere, which, is kind of... even though it works to have a whole bunch of couplers in there, it always kind of looks a little bit pieced together, not to mention you run the risk of blowing a coupler, and I'm going to have as many welded pipes as I can to minimize any of that risk. So then the other thing I've got here, actually, I had ordered this, I bet I've had this a month, and I'd always planned on putting a wideband in the car, and I never did. I got this kit, which is basically the gauge pod, so I can put it right next to the tachometer, so it's just going to sit right there. It's going to be really subtle. You'll still be able to look in the interior, and it'll just look fairly factory, other than like the Sparco seat, So, and I guess the shifter. But yeah, it's going to be really simple. It's going to be nice. It's going to be right where I need it, right in my in my view. Even though the tack doesn't work, that's fine. I'll have a shift light. That's all I need, really. I mean, I've been going without a tack for quite a while. So enough talking. Let's get back to working on the car. Oh man, guys, I was just going through the box. Did not know this came with it. I thought it didn't. Fuck yeah, that is so dope. This is gonna make this so cool. Because I was so worried because I was like, man, nobody's even gonna be able to see the supercharger. They're just gonna walk up. They're gonna be like, oh, it's a K-series. That's cool. Man, you see this? They're gonna, oh, there's a supercharger somewhere? Where is that at? Fuck yeah, that's dope. Okay, so next up, I think I need to take the bumper off because in order to get that supercharger in there, I tried kind of sliding it in here and from the bottom, it wasn't happening. I need to take this bumper off. I mean, either way, I need to take it off anyway so I can work on stuff. It's probably gonna have to go on and off a bunch of times, but I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna get this belt off of here so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Then I can bolt the supercharger on there and see what else I can make happen. Okay, so I got the belt off, bumpers off, all that stuff, alternators out of the way. So now I've got all these brackets that I need to put together. It looks like I need to assemble it outside the car, then mount it to the car, and then I gotta put the supercharger on there. So let's get to it. Alright guys, I'm already running into my first major problem. So the bracket setup here does not fit because I'm hitting the radiator support, and I think if I go over any further, I'm gonna hit the actual subframe. So, God, now I gotta, I'm gonna take the bumper support off and the radiator support off and see what I can do, how much cutting and welding I'm gonna have to do. Okay, so now with all this bumper support and all this shit off, you can see what I'm working with here. You can see those bolt holes down there don't quite line up, and these ones don't quite line up, and we're hitting pretty hard right here. So I guess we're gonna start cutting this, and then there's a chance I might have to cut into this too, and probably remake the radiator support, and probably have to cut that. So, oh joy, off to cutting. Okay, so of course it's problem after problem. So I notched this out. This is clearing now. This clears the bracket. These two bolts are in. These ones don't line up. I don't understand why. It sits too low. There's no slop in this or in this. You can't really move them around at all. So I don't know why it doesn't fit. I don't know if it's the water pump I'm using. Maybe it's my for K20 water pump. I don't know if maybe that sits up a little bit higher. I didn't think so, but maybe. I guess either way, I'm gonna have to drill these holes out to make them a little bigger so it actually lines up. But that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem actually is this right here. So if you look at where the pulley is, obviously it's gonna be about centered. It's hitting this subframe piece. So it looks like it needs about at least that much cut out of there, but the problem is the pipe is right there. So I think I'm actually gonna have to notch this pipe out. So I don't know, I can't decide. I might notch this pipe out and then re-weld it, like, you know, flip that piece inside out or something. I don't know yet. What a pain in the ass. So I was curious, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw this bumper support on and see how much of this needs cut. Surprisingly, it's not gonna need to cut at all. Look at that. It actually sits just a little bit over. Like, there's a nice gap there. It's kind of hard to focus, but there's actually a gap between there. I think that's actually going to be fine, because I mean, it's not, obviously the engine isn't going to go side to side, it's only going to go front to back. So I think that's going to clear, and it's not in the way of the pulley. It's just this piece of pipe here. So if I wasn't so concerned about the fact that my radiator support currently is bolted onto here, and then it's also bolted onto the stud that I took off here, I would almost consider just taking this piece out, but I need it. So I'm gonna have to modify it. Okay, so I kind of got this all mocked up now. I got the Rotrex sitting in here, the alternator's just kind of chilling. So this is kind of how it's gonna be. I took that subframe piece out of there for the moment because obviously I need to modify it. It's just kind of chilling. I want to have this clocked up like this because I think that'll be the best plan for getting it into the intercooler. It looks like it's going to clear the alternator. It's going to be tight, I mean really tight, and I'm going to have to grind this bracket because it's contacting a little bit. But I think it's going to work. I mean, it's just, you can see I don't have a lot of room there, but I think there's just going to be enough room that I can kind of bring it up into where the intercooler is going to be. Obviously, I don't have the intercooler today, but yeah, I think it's going to work. So, yeah. All right, guys. So, I think that is actually going to be the end of this video for today, because I'm kind of running really long in this video, and this is going to be a multiple part series. I don't know how many, 2, 3, whatever. Because it's kind of the middle of the week. I'm going to work on it in the weekend, and then I'm probably going to end up working on it the week after, right before Ice Cream Cruise, trying to get it tuned in and everything like that. Well, assuming everything goes, smoothly. Obviously, I've got a bunch of fabrication that needs to be done, which, I knew there was going to be a little bit, but I didn't anticipate the things that I got going on right now. I had a feeling there might be some contact with this subframe piece, but it's quite a bit, so it's gonna have to get modified a lot. But Yeah, we'll get to that on the next video. So until then, like, subscribe, keep tuned in, and peace out.